Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto fused with Carnage and Venom. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new series over the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, let's begin this new episode. Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, we started with the exam, the written tests, as Naruto did not understand one thing on the paper. However, he soon realized that they were meant to cheat. So in his own way, he was able to cheat rather quickly. With that said and done, Anko arrived. As Naruto remembered her from the other night, she spoke to them about the forest of death. It wasn't long before they entered said forest as they made their way, walking through the forest, trying to get their scroll. That is when they were attacked by a team from the hidden grass. The Kunoichi and the team went straight for Sasuke. Naruto had felt something from her earlier, as something was just not right. While the other two attacked, Naruto transformed, shocking the hell out of Sakura. She did not expect this in the slightest. However, she saw that Naruto was under control. She was freaked out though, completely startled by his new appearance. As for the members of said team, they did not stand a chance, as Naruto took care of them. He then made his way off to find the Uchiha, coming across the snake Sanin who had bit Sasuke right in the neck. As Naruto went up against Orochimaru was fascinated as he's never seen anything like this in his life before. As him and Naruto tussled until Anko arrived. She told Naruto to stay out of it. He obliged as he stood there. If she was able to finish him, Naruto would engage. However, Orochimaru was able to escape. As Anko told him that he should get back to the exam, she will report this to the Hokage. As Naruto realized that he got lost from his teammates, so he had to go and find them. So with that he set off. He found them sometime later, facing off against his own team. Arriving there, the other members as Team 8 and 10 were shocked to see Naruto's appearance. However, what was truly brutal was Naruto removing the head of the Sound Ninjas. Not that killing was not a thing in this shinobi world, but this was Naruto they were talking about. The fun-loving idiot. So to see him massacre people like that, it was pretty scary. Naruto told Sasuke and Sakura about his, knew him to be exact, and the both of them accepted him. Sasuke just saw this as a challenge for him to get stronger, now feeling stronger than ever. And Sakura saw that Naruto had risked his life to protect them against the snake Sanin, so, she had no qualms about this. Sometime later, the Hokage spoke to Naruto about the event. The preliminaries then came around, as matches took place. Naruto was called to face off against Kiba. Akamaru did not want Kiba to fight Naruto. The dog was afraid. However, Kiba was cocky and arrogant. The match did not last for too long. It was completely one-sided. Not standing a single chance in hell, Kiba was defeated as Naruto came out as victor of the match. So yeah guys, basically let's left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. Winner! Naruto Uzumaki Hayate announced. Way to go Naruto! Sakura said. Naruto defeated Kiba like it was nothing. Hinata said surprise. It's a lesson, said Kunai, that you should never underestimate your opponents. Kiba underestimated Naruto, and for that he lost. However, this new power that Naruto possessed was something truly great. Catastrophe held up his arm as he fired a web and pulled himself back up to the railing. As it vanished, returning his body back to Naruto. Not much of a workout, but it was good for what it was, he said, flexing his fingers. Not bad there, Naruto. You've really come a long way, said Kakashi. Was there ever any doubt, Naruto said, as they watched to see who was next. The next match was Hinata versus Neji. A lot of the members, especially, Team Kunai and Team Guy was rather shocked at this match. Neji's face was completely emotionless. Hinata looked scared. As they made their way down there. Alright, you may begin, Hayate said. Give up, said Neji, looking towards Hinata, as he continued to berate her, telling her that she would not win, that she is worthless. Naruto was annoyed by him, as he held his hand out and fired web over Neji's mouth. Neji was caught off guard by that, not expecting that in the slightest. As he was finally able to pry it off after a while, he looked up with a glare towards Naruto, who simply grinned down towards him, viciously. Neji turned his gaze back towards his opponent, but despite what he said, Hinata never faltered, as they fought. The stadium watched as their palms connected, chakra exploding outwards. But as Hinata was pushing herself to her limits, Neji's attacks became faster and stronger. Soon they stood on opposite ends, as Hinata was bleeding from the mouth. As Neji stood there, his palm held out, as Hinata spoke to him. Neji was pissed off at her, believing that she had the right to speak to him like that. He rushed forward despite Hinata looking like she was going to fall. The senseis rushed down there, subduing Neji in the process. As Neji broke back as Hinata fell backwards. Before she could hit the ground though, Naruto fired a web, keeping her in place until Kunai came over and picked up the girl. She gave Naruto a nod of thanks as she placed her on the medical stretcher. As Naruto watched Hinata got taken away, Neji saw him watching. Do not feel sorry for her. She was doomed a failure from the beginning. All failures will eventually meet the same fate of losing to their superiors and meet their destiny. Naruto turned towards him before morphing into Catastrophe. Before Neji knew it, his limbs were wrapped. Naruto yanked him forward and grabbed him by the throat. If there is anyone that we detest more than traitors and filth in this world, it is stuck-up bastards like you, who believe they know everything about everybody, when they don't know squat. We should probably do Hinata a favor and finish you right here and now, said Naruto, as he opened his mouth, showing off a deadly set of teeth. Naruto! As Naruto glanced over his shoulder to see Hiruzen. Drop him now, he said, as he looked towards the Hokage before turning back. Neji was dropped on his ass, as Naruto looked down towards him. You got lucky that time, but rest assured, we aren't finished with you yet. Afterwards, everyone waited for the next names to be drawn. The names were Gaara and Rock Lee. Yush! I shall show you the power of youth. Lee flipped off the balcony and landed, as Gaara calmly made his way down. Hayate announced the match. Lee attacked when the match began. However, Stan appeared and blocked his attack. He kicked and his attack was blocked once again. Where's that Stan coming from? Sakura asked. The gourd on his back, said Naruto. Naruto, the fox called him. Yes, that is no ordinary Stan. That is emitted from that boy's gourd. What do you mean? Said Naruto. There's only one creature that is able to manipulate sand to that degree. Shikaku. Who is Shikaku? Said Naruto. He's the one-tailed Ichibai. So he's just like us. Now we can understand why he has a look on his face. He perhaps had a very bad life. Said Naruto as he continued to watch the match. Lee had to remove his weights because his speed was no longer supplying what he wanted to reach at this level, as Gaara-san was faster than him. Now with his weights off, Lee was much faster, but it still was not giving him the edge that he needed. So he pulled out the chakra gates, as he pushed himself up to the 5th gate. The battle that followed was brutal. Gaara had took multiple devastating hits. However, Lee had strained his body badly, and was looking tired and weakened. Something rather frightening then happened. Gaara's body cracked open to reveal a cocoon. Its body was covered by sand. This entire time, Lee was grabbed by his sand. He proceeded to scream out as Gaara crushed down on his leg and arm. Gaara was about to end it. However, Guy jumped in and knocked away the sand, saving his student's life. As Lee was taken away, Naruto remembered what he said, that he was going to prove to everyone that taijutsu could be just as great as the other arts. Looking over, he saw that Neji's face was not showing any sympathy, because in his mind it was just fate. He then looked towards the other teammate, Tintin. She seemed to be worrying about what just happened. He had such dreams, and they were all taken away, said Naruto. His gaze then met with Tintin's. His defeat will be avenged. We will make sure of it, as Naruto glanced over towards Gaara. Tintin wiped her tears, as she saw Lee in that state. He was one of her close friends, and not to mention her teammate. She was looking at Naruto with surprise. Granted, they were not that close, nor was Naruto and Lee. Thank you, she said. She was able to see what Naruto can do. She had always believed that Neji was the strongest genin out of everyone else, and despite her not saying it out loud, from what she's seen from Naruto, from in the forest to this area, she wasn't so sure about that proclamation that she made some time ago. The next match was Shikamaru versus Temari. Shikamaru was pissed off, as one person would not be fighting because of the numbers, as he wished that he was one that wouldn't be able to fight. Tintin was surprised she wasn't going to fight. A free pass to the final rounds. The match ended in a strange way. Shikamaru had the win, but he gave up. He then claimed that he didn't have enough chakra, as his shadow receded back to him. Soon after that, all the winning genin, composed of Naruto, Shino, Neji, Tintin, Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro, minus Sasuke, who had been taken away earlier, all made their way down there. They were all told to draw a number. 2, said Neji as he showed his. 7, said Temari. 3, said Gaara. 8, Tintin said. 5, Shino said. 6, Kankuro said. Naruto looked at his number with a small grin. 1, he said. And that leaves Sasuke Uchiha, who will be number 4, said Sarutobi. One of the Chunin proctors write it up on the board and show them. The first match will be Naruto versus Neji. Second, Gaara versus Sasuke. Third, Shino versus Kankuro. Fourth, Temari versus Tintin. You now know who you are fighting in 1 month. Good luck to all of you, as you will need it for the road ahead and to prepare for what lies ahead of you, Sarutobi said as he looked towards the competitors. As Naruto turned towards Neji, as he was mocking him, it seems. Fate has decided to give us an opportunity to avenge Hinata's defeat. Neji growled at that tone, as he think that fate was a joke, as he looked towards this loser who he will defeat, because fate has already deemed it as such. We shall see you in a month, and when it comes, you shall be begging for mercy, said Naruto, as he flipped away, firing web before he stuck to the ceiling and swinged off. As Neji watched him leave, he calmed himself. There was no need to get riled up for someone like that. Fate has already declared him to be the winner after all, and he will win. Time skip. Naruto was swinging through the village, as he was talking to Catastrophe and the Kyuubi about the upcoming matches, as he reached up to Gaara. And then there is that Gaara, He was able to defeat Lee no matter what taijutsu trick he pulled out. And Sasuke, he's supposed to fight him first. There is absolutely no way that Uchiha can defeat Gaara, the Kyuubi said. I mean, he couldn't even defeat the one that Gaara defeated. Kyuubi, you say that Gaara is a Jinchuriki of the Ichibai, correct? Said Naruto. Precisely, Shikaku. Despite him being the Ichibai though, the One-Tails, he should not be taken lightly. Not to mention the other problem. Yes, the invasion, said Naruto, as he remembered what he got from the Sound Ninjas when he went through their mind. As Naruto was swinging, he almost forgot about something, as he landed on top of a building. Time to see Gigi about her new home. As Naruto web swing towards the building, as Naruto saw that Hiruzen arrive. Naruto smirked as he crawled through the ear vent, slowly stalking as he crawled. Sarutobi, who was busy looking through the Chunin finals, snapped his gaze up towards the vent as Naruto burst out. However, Hiruzen remained calm. Ah, Naruto, he said, I was waiting for you to show up. As Naruto landed, as he decided to get over his scare tactic. We held our end up. We're in the finals of the exam. We should be entitled to our rightful home, said Naruto. Technically, I did not say I would give it to you if you made it to the finals, Hiruzen said, as Naruto's right eye twitched at that, remembering that the old man never said that actually. However, Hiruzen said, since that you have held your own so far, and not to mention with this information that you gave us on Kabuto and Orochimaru and the Sand part in the invasion, I see no reason to hold this back away from you. However, I want to talk about what happened in the exam with Neji Hyuga. As Naruto frowned at that, this is not the first time that a bastard with overwhelming pride has gotten too much of themselves, and he is no different from the others. Those words struck Hiruzen as it got him remembering the traitors from this village, pride and complexity that allowed them to go down a path that he could not save them from. One person came to mind, Orochimaru. Hiruzen sighed. You're right, he said. Pride is one of the biggest problems in ninja world, especially amongst the bloodline families. I just wish there was something that we could have done about what happened. As Naruto looked at him, Gigi, we know that you have the answers to why Neji hate the main house. We want to know if we intend to defeat him and break his ego. Sarutobi looked at Naruto. Perhaps Naruto could do something that has not been done in a very long while. Time and time again, Naruto has been someone that was able to change people's fate. Small amounts, but sometimes large. As Hiruzen, see no problem in sharing this. It wasn't really a big secret, and besides, he was going up against Neji in the finals. Very well, I'll tell you, he said. It happened many years ago before you and your fellow rookies even started in the academy. The village had attempted to make a peace treaty with the village of Kumo. Kumo has always has the urge to capture rare bloodlines and experiment on them. The one ninja Kumo sent on behalf of their village kidnapped Hinata that night. When her father Hayashi Hyuga went to stop him, it ended with the Kumo ninja's life ended. The Raikage then claimed that he knew nothing about it. To avoid the possibility of a war starting up right after everything that had happened, the Raikage demanded the head of the ninja that had ended the life of his ninja. But how is that possible? Hinata's father is still alive, said Naruto, as he seen the man various times. Well, Naruto, you see, Hayashi was not the only child. He was a twin. His twin brother was known as Hisashi, who was Neji's father. However, Hayashi was born first, so he was named future head of the clan and placed in the main house, while Hisashi was placed to the branch family. Branch family, said Naruto. Yes, the branch family placed in the clan is to protect those of the main house and for them to bear a cursed seal. It serves as a secret to protect the clan family bloodline. When they die, the seal would destroy the eyes and any trace of the chakra of the Byakugan inside one's body. to make sure that it could never be replicated. However, because of such strife that has happened in both the families, branch members had made attempts to try and betray the main house. That brings us to the second part of the curse mark that the branch families have. Members of the main house could activate the seal to cause excruciating pain to the branch members, further placing them under their control. As Naruto tilts his head looking towards the Hokage, and you allow such a thing to happen in one of the village clans. Hiruzen sigh. I too admit it is a very dirty thing to do. However, this is clan affairs, and because of the lack of trust, it seems they would never truly reunite as one family. As I was saying, Hisashi was elected to stand in for Hayashi because of their similar features, but Hayashi refused. He did not want his own brother to pay for his mistakes. However, Hisashi had been the one to suggest it, because he cared about his brother, and not for the clan. He also requested that Neji not know about his father's death until he was ready, so Hisashi was sacrificed instead, said Naruto. That is why he speaks about fate and destiny. He believed that all the members of the branch family are fated and doomed by destiny, said Naruto. Yes, so now you know the truth about the family, said Hiruzen. Good. That's all we wanted to know. As Hiruzen nodded, well, how about we head to your new home, he said. Let's, said Naruto. Time skip, sometime later. Welcome, Naruto, to the Namikaze compound. As Naruto was surprised, as Sarutobi led Naruto inside, the place was large. As Naruto saw pictures on the wall of his father and the red-haired woman beside him, which must be his mother. He also saw his father with his team, as he saw a younger Kakashi. There was a girl there. As Naruto did not know she was Ren Nohara, there was another boy. He presumed that he was Uchiha that gave Kakashi the Sharingan. It was Obito Uchiha. Naruto also saw old white-haired man as well, with his father. Well, this is your new home, Hiruzen said, showing Naruto around. Incredible. And this was all left for me, said Naruto. Yes, Hiruzen said. As Naruto looked around, father, he said, while we still have anger for what you burden on us, we should still give you credit for putting your own family aside for the village. After all, that is the greatest testament of being the Hokage. However, if you were to ever come back alive, we will beat you senseless, said Naruto. Hiruzen couldn't help but chuckle at that. Old man, said Naruto, I presume that this woman, yes, that's your mother, Kushina Uzumaki. She's beautiful, said Naruto. That she was. However, your personalities are exactly the same. Easy to get all riled up. You don't say, said Naruto. Tell me, is this Jiraiya, said Naruto. Ah, yes. He was the one that taught your father. He was their father's sensei. In fact, he's your godfather. Our godfather? Yes, that's right. However, he could not take you on and raise you. Jiraiya is a spy master for this village, and taking you outside in the world would have just attracted unwanted attention. That would have led to more problems. Not to mention those council members. The moment that was brought up, they were against it. As Naruto glanced towards him, Gigi, if we were to kill the council members, would that be considered as murder or charity, said Naruto. Naruto, Hiruzen said. I was just asking, said Naruto. Hiruzen cleared his throat. Anyway, he said, this is an Namikaze mansion, and it belongs to you. Do you also wish to take up your father's last name? No, not just yet. For now, I'll remain Uzumaki. After all, with all this problem this council has given you, if they were to find out, they will try and weasel their way in. And I wouldn't want to be sent to jail for slaughtering every single one of them, said Naruto, with a twisted smirk. So I think it's beneficial to remain. Uzumaki until I'm ready. Hiruzen skipped over Naruto, plotting the council murder. I agree, he said. You are the last Namikaze and Uzumaki within the village. Your mother's name carry a lot of worth. Because of the clan that she's from that is now extinct, with you being the last member. Your father's name also carried a lot of worth as well. He was well known throughout the entire elemental nation. I have no doubt they will try to get you to rebuild the Uzumaki clan. Your heritage is something that many of the council members would like to get their hands on, and they will try to arrange several arranged marriages. So woman, who would only want us for our heritage, said Naruto. Well, to avoid their planning, you'll have to accept your own woman. Beforehand, honest, caring, and not prejudiced. To rebuild your clan and make it stronger than before. I see. And by doing so they can't make a move against us. That is a good idea. A clan. With me as the head, said Naruto. He brought his hand together as he created multiple clones. Spread out. And lay out the foundation, said Naruto, as he would like to know the entire in and out of this place. Once you got the information, dispel. As Naruto and Hiruzen start to walk. Oh, another thing. For the month that you got for June exams, I have someone here that is going to help you. And who might that be? It's Jiraiya, actually. Jiraiya, said Naruto. Yes, even though he has not been here for so long, we've still kept in touch over the years. You say that he's a spy master. Is there any threats out there that is aiming toward this village? Naruto asked. Another time, Hiruzen said. But I must return back to my office. Enjoy your stay. Yes. Return back to your paperwork, said Naruto. There was humor in his tone, causing the old man to glare at him, as Naruto chuckled. Wait, said Naruto as he remembered something. One last thing before you go. What of the spy? We did tell you about him. About that, Kakashi had a run-in with him. It seems like he was watching over Sasuke. After the curse-marked ceiling, Sasuke was placed in the hospital, unconscious. Kabuto was inside. There was a brief scuffle. However, he was able to escape. Okay then, said Naruto as he folded his arms. We will just continue with the original plan, Naruto said to himself, and hunt him down, and rip him to shreds. With that, Hiruzen made his way, saying goodbye. Sometime later, Naruto had gathered everything from his old apartment as he brought it here. As he got rid of certain things, after all, he had a lot of beds. A lot. And the king-size bed was large. His mother was the last Uzumaki before he arrived. He presumed that they wanted to recreate that clan with his father's genes. It would have been one of the most powerful clans within Konoha. However, their life was taken away before they could, Naruto thought to himself. As he pulled out a photo album that he found, there were so many photos inside. As he skipped through it, younger days with his mother and father when they were in their teens. There was other photos as well, with other clan heads when they were younger. Inuzaka, Hyuga, Aburame, Akimichi, Yamanaka, Nara, and even Mikoto Uchiha. She was Sasuke's mother, if Naruto remember correctly. She and his mother seemed to be rather close, as they were smiling at one another. As he smiled at the photo, he wished he could have knew his parents, or at least met them. But that did not seem to be the case for him, and there was nothing that he can do about the past, so he went to sleep. As Naruto was sleeping, a strange, purple mist wrapped around his body before consuming him. Naruto's eyes snapped open, realizing that he was in his catastrophe form. Where are we? What is going on? He thought to himself as he picked himself up. Do forgive me for calling you here on such short notice, but I had to meet you. The voice, it sounded like an elderly woman. Catastrophe head broke apart, revealing Naruto's head as an old woman, gray hair, red rimmed glasses. Her body was in a strange reddish black suit of sort, with a white spider symbol on her torso. and she did not seem to have any legs. She sat on a throne-like thing that seemed to have spider legs behind it. "Who are you?" said Naruto. "You may call me Madam Web. I've been watching you for some time, Naruto Uzumaki," the old woman said. "How do you know our name?" said Naruto. "Oh, rest assured, I know more than just your name, and I know everything that's happened in your life. Why did you bring us here, and what do you want?" "I noticed that you have bonded with the symbiotes that was once Venom and Carnage, separately." "And how do you know of them?" Naruto asks. "I know them because I was once the ally to the one that defeated them." "Spider-Man?" said Naruto. "Precisely," she said. "But what are you?" said Naruto. "You can't possibly be human." "I am not," she said. "I am a being that can take many forms. I have traveled through the vast corners of the universe, seen many things, but nothing has captivated me more than the concept of good and evil." "Good and evil? So what exactly does this have to do with us?" "Originally, Spider-Man was the one I was sent to study and prepare for a challenge to see which side would be truly superior, and in the end, good triumph. You are now bonded with what used to be two of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, true embodiments of evil, but looking at you, I see that you have suppressed the evil tendencies that both symbiotes originally had, and used them to your own will. That is truly astonishing. Peter Parker would have been surprised to see this." "But why bring us here?" said Naruto, as he still wanted answers. "As I said, I've been watching you in your shinobi world, and I'm surprised to see how much different and similar your world is, and how good and evil shinobis of your world can be when compared to the heroes and villains of other worlds." She waved her arm as multiple screens appeared. Villains and heroes were fighting each other on them, as Naruto was amazed to see such people exist in the world where symbiotes were from. "Incredible. Yes, and now I've come to warn you of your own dangers and battles that lie ahead of you." "You mean the Sound and Sand invasion Orochimaru has planned?" "That's, and much more, I'm afraid." "What else is there?" "Tell us," said Naruto. "It is not for me to say. Time has to play its course. But I will give you a warning. The danger that is coming to your world can be stopped. But right now, you do not stand a chance. Then we'll just get stronger. We'll keep on training harder and harder so we can face that danger," Naruto said. "Very well. But remember this. One man alone cannot bring an end to a war. You will take note and remember that for when the true battle approaches. Heed my warning," she said, as Naruto woke up back in his bed. As he was back in his normal form. "Was that all a dream?" he said. "No," he said to himself, "it was real, and we know it." "Well, Madam Web, thank you for the warning, but we will get stronger, and we will dominate any match that rise, any danger, any darkness, anyone that tried to take us down, anyone that faces us. We will destroy them," said Naruto, as he returned back to sleeping. The next morning, Naruto squinted as he twisted on the bed. The sunlight hit him right in his eyes. "We really don't like mornings," he said, as he pulled himself up, rubbing his eyes. As he made his way to his bathroom, he then got showered. Once he was out, the symbiote morphed into his clothing, as he went to get something to eat. Once that was done, he made his way, heading towards the office, leaping and flipping off buildings. When he got there though, Hiruzen was not alone. "Jiraiya," said Naruto as he looked towards his father sensei. "Right on time, Naruto," Hiruzen said. "So this is Naruto?" "Yes, Jiraiya, this is Naruto Uzumaki," Hiruzen said. As Jiraiya smiled, "Well, kid," he said, "nice to finally meet you. As you know, I'm Jiraiya. The old man here has told me a lot about you." As he extended his hand, "Has he?" said Naruto. "Well, he's tell us about you as well." As Naruto gripped his hand and applied force to see what his strength was like. Jeez, for a kid, you got quite a grip there, said Jiraiya as he shook the hand. But I expect nothing less from my own godson, as Naruto turned towards Sarutobi, so he will be training us for the finals. Yes, Naruto. Jiraiya, I leave him under your care. You can count on me, old man. Well, kid, let's walk and talk, said Jiraiya. Walk? As Naruto jumped through the window and started to web sling away. I'm gone for 13 years and this is what my student son is capable of. I know it's strange, but Naruto powers. He has made them his own. They have made him stronger, not only in body but mind as well. Though I will caution you to not get on his nerves. He's just like Kushina. I'll keep that in mind, said Jiraiya, as he leaped through the window. Sometime later, both men were sitting near a waterfall. Sir Toby has told me what happened. Also what you possess other than Hyuga's chakra. Yes, having two others inside of us seem far-fetched. But we can assure you, it's not so bad once you get used to it, said Naruto. Now, about that training. Before we get into anything first, I would like to see what you're capable of. In your second form, Jiraiya said, cutting in. Very well if you insist, said Naruto. But be prepared for what you're about to witness. As Catastrophe took over, Jiraiya stepped back. He was surprised. Yes, Sir Toby had told him, but seeing it for real, well, he was taken aback. Is our form that overwhelming to one of the legendary Sanins? Catastrophe said with a chuckle. Jiraiya smirked at that, hardly. I was just thinking the Shinigami is scarier than that face. Catastrophe fired two webs towards him. Jiraiya leaped up in the air, but Catastrophe was already on him and sent a bone-crushing kick. Jiraiya crossed his arm as he was blasted from the sky. Naruto dropped and tackled him. As both of them slammed into the wall, Jiraiya knocked Naruto away and kicked him in the stomach. As Naruto slid back before he got his grip and rushed forward, Jiraiya blurred through hand sign. Let's see how you do with this. Nimpo, Needle Jizo. As his hair parted and got large as he fired dozens of his hair forward that were extremely sharp, like needles, as a few of them hit Catastrophe, but he simply smirked. Do you really think a few needles will be able to hurt us? It seems the old man was not kidding about you, said Jiraiya, as Catastrophe leaped towards him as the both of them engaged. 2 hours. They fought for 2 hours non-stop. Jiraiya was panting as Naruto powered down back to his normal form. Jiraiya did not know if Naruto was exhausted or he was just putting on a brave face, or perhaps the symbiote. Stamina was just unending. So what do you think? Naruto asked. Well, kid, you surprised me there. I haven't fought that hard since, well, last week. Naruto raised the eyebrow to that. And what exactly are you comparing our fight to? Well, against a mob of angry women. A mob of angry women? And what could you have done to piss off an entire mob of women, said Naruto. You really don't want to know. But we insist, Naruto said. Well, said Jiraiya. As he did not really fight the girls, he kind of just ran away. However, Naruto seemed interested. You see, I'm an author, and I require inspiration to make my books. And that's where the girls come in. Naruto tilted his head. Books? Just what kind of books do you write? Jiraiya pulled out an orange book. As Naruto looked at it, what? You write those repulsive work that our sensei reads? Repulsive? I'll have you know this is a work of art. But what would you know? You're still just a kid, said Jiraiya. Touché, old man, said Naruto. But when this kid grew up, you'll be in for it. As Naruto swung off, Jiraiya turned as he chuckled, seeing Naruto swing away. Training that boy may be the biggest work that I have to do in my life. However, I think he's gonna pull the biggest reward, Jiraiya thought. He could see it. There was just something special about the kid. Other than the symbiote, other than the fox. There was just something. This kid might just surpass everyone, Jiraiya thought to himself. As for Naruto, as he was web swinging, he saw the Dango shock. Might as well get something to eat. As he stopped by, as Naruto was ordering, "Well, what do we have here?" As he turned to see, "Uncle Sensei," he said, "let's not be so formal. After all, the finals are a month away." "You're right," he said. "So, come here often." "Often?" Uncle chuckled. "More like I have my own special order." "So a long-time regular, huh?" "You bet," she said. "Interesting. And we thought that we were the regular freak at Ichiraku." Naruto said. As Uncle smirked, "By the way, not a bad job in the second stage and preliminaries. You got guts, kid." "Oh, we got much more than guts, we assure you," said Naruto with a grin. "And I can't wait to see how well you do in the finals." "You may very well be surprised," Naruto said, causing her to smirk. "I'll hold you to that," she said. "So," she said to him, with a teasing smirk, "have you given any thought to my offer about being more acquainted?" "That's a pretty bold move on your part. After all, we barely know one another," said Naruto. Because of the bond with the symbiotes, and the knowledge that they got from the teenagers, Naruto had a lot of experience. Not physically, but mentally. That is why he was acting this way. After all, he had undergone a change a long time ago. He was no longer that same kid from before. And he was not someone that did not know exactly what Uncle was suggesting. "So," she said, "why not we go back to your place, and we can get to know one another?" "Very well, but we should let you know that we no longer live in that rundown apartment." "Oh? And where are you now?" she asked. "Why don't we show you?" As he transformed into his catastrophe form and picked up Uncle. His head was still exposed though, as he held her with one arm. After all, he was pretty large. As Uncle held on to him, it was exhilarating as she swung through the village. She felt a breeze rushing past her. It was amazing. No wonder he loved to do this. However, Uncle was confused when she arrived at the location. This place. As she looked towards Naruto, her eyes widened. Yes, as you can see, the fourth Hokage was our father. As Uncle looked at him, it took her a moment to get over her shock. "Huh. No wonder you're so handsome," she said. Her mind was still shocked that she had not even realized that. However, her being Uncle, well, she had to put in a little flirting words. "Please, you're making us blush," said Naruto. "That isn't all I want to make you do," she said. Once again, Naruto grinned. However, at that moment, as he took in the sight of her body, as she moved, the way she just elegantly glanced, it was seduction. And his hormones started to take over. Venom and Carnage, before they fused, they fed off emotions, intensifying emotions. However, the fusion between them, Catastrophe, was something else. And Naruto was even worse when it comes to certain emotions. As Uncle saw his eyes change, not physically, but the look in his eyes, that hunger, that desire. Meanwhile, inside of Naruto Mindscape, the Kyuubi and Catastrophe was currently watching what was going on the TV. "This is better than cable TV," Catastrophe said. "This woman can possibly make a good mate for him, but it will be up to him to decide," the Kyuubi said. "Well, whatever he chooses. You can guess that we will be seeing more events like this." Time skip. Uncle was frazzled. This was not her first time yet. She couldn't understand. He bested her at everything. He bested her. That shouldn't be possible, right? But he did it. He bested her. He made her lusting after him more than she was supposed to. He made her crave him. Whatever the symbiote did to him, it changed him. She could not even see him as a human anymore. Granted, he had all the human parts. However, his stamina, his unending stamina, that seemed to be eternal. She just couldn't believe it. As for Naruto, this was a new experience for him, and he enjoyed every single second of it. As Anko had cemented herself into his head, the one to open his world to this kind of pleasure and enjoyment. It was truly magnificent. The very next morning, what a beautiful morning, Anko said, as the window right beside of the bed gave out a captivating sight. Yes, the morning is quite beautiful, but not as beautiful as what we're looking at, said Naruto. Are you always this charming, Anko asked. Only with the hot ones, said Naruto. I'm flattered, she said to him, as she started to get dressed. So where are you off to today? Well, I got stuff to prepare for the Chunin exam finals. Plus, a tidbit about the invasion set to take place. Ah yes, but before you leave, there's something that we want to ask you. Ask away, she said. Are you tired of referring to yourself as a still single Uncle Midarashi? Uncle looked at him. She was surprised. Why do you ask? Well, we have a solution. Oh, and what is that? Well, you see, we're the last of the Namikaze clan and the Uzumaki. And the clan has died out. And because we're the last male, we are required to take more than one bride. We want to choose the woman that we care about. Woman that will care about us. Woman that understands us. And you fit all that criteria. As Uncle had a feeling what he was about to say. So tell me, Uncle, would you like to be one of her wife? Oh, wait. Are you asking me to marry you? Yes, but not now. When it's time for us to take a public stand as a head of this clan. You are a hard-working, honest kunoichi, true to your belief. Someone that has been through hardship and come out on the other end, unfazed. That is why we want to ask if you will accept us. Uncle was left in deep thought. She's shown her loyalty to the village to prove that she was not linked to Orochimaru in any way. But some people still see her as, well, his apprentice. As she's been with people before, but they never understand her. But ever since that night where she met this blonde, swinging around, there was a strange feeling that she could not understand. A trust that she put in him. To agree to him, to accept him so willingly. And besides, it was not now, but she felt something between them. Something that she didn't feel of passing up, and besides, the sex was amazing. Alright, she said. As in, yes? Said Naruto. Yes, she said to him with a smile. But, just because we're not married yet, doesn't mean we can't have fun till then, right? I would never dream of saying something like that, said Naruto, with a smile. Time skip. Once Uncle had left, Naruto showered up, as he got something to eat, and he made his way to find Jiraiya. He remembered what the woman had said, about the danger that was coming, and he had to be ready, so he had to be strong, and he needed the pervert's help. After all, he was trained by the third Hokage himself, and he was one of the legendary Sanins, and after what he saw with Orochimaru, he was no joke. Arriving toward the same waterfall. Ah, Naruto, you're here. Morning. Same to you, Erasenin. What did you just call me? Erasenin. You're a pervert and a Sanin, said Naruto. Jiraiya eye twitch. As Jiraiya grunted to himself about disrespectful brats, before he tossed something right in front of Naruto, as it slammed on the ground. Upright. Why have you given us this? Oh, that's simple. I want you to become a summoner. As Naruto raised an eyebrow to that, But guys, to be in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. And also, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs over the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and support. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? What am I saying? Let's get the hell out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.